let's just talk about a few players very, very quickly. I was going to talk about some rumors, but because of time, I'm going to skip over some and just talk about one rumor and then official transfers. The rumor that I want to talk about is a report that we've been hearing coming out of Nigeria that the Super Eagles defender Sodiq Ismail is on the verge of joining Albanian club FK Partizan. This news has been in the air for, I'll say, a couple weeks now. Nothing official yet, but it seems like it's for sure going to happen based on all indications that we are getting. And it just struck a question in my head because I've seen this happen many a times. A player from the league gets called up to the Super Eagles, they perform well, they get the club abroad, then all of a sudden, no more Super Eagles call up. I've asked this question before. When they were in Nigeria, they were good enough for the Super Eagles, but all of a sudden, when they went abroad, they are no longer good enough. So I'm going to pose that question to you, Smidlai, as well as our audience. Sadiq Ismail is somebody that certain people that like the MPFL have fought for before, and they argued for him when he was getting all those assists for Remo Stars. They argued for him to be in the Super Eagles. Now that he's joining FK Partizani, is that the end of his Super Eagles career? Because I don't think anybody is arguing for any Nigerian player based in Albania to be called up. It's not there are many Nigerian players in Albania. Many. Nobody's arguing for them to be called up. So now, if he goes there, is that the end of his Super Eagles career, or is he still good enough, even though he's in Albania, to be playing for the Super Eagles? Like, what do you think?
I think it's the end of his Super Eagles career in a level playing field. Don't forget that I said in a level playing field, though, that's the end of his career. If you have to pick players on merit. But if you don't go to pick players on merit, that is not the end of his career, because a player left Bender Insurance to Tanzania in Yefu. We thought that might be the end of his Super Eagles career, but the player got a call up from Yefu in Tanzania, and he played for Super Eagles in 2 World Cup qualification games. So that is if it's equal, if everything according to everything is equal, I think that that's the end. Talking about the level of the MPFL, I don't want to be controversial here. What is the level of the MPFL? What is the level of the MPFL? So you don't even know, maybe it's even what they call up initially. I said it here that if you have a player doing so well in Serie C, having assists on a regular basis, will you argue for the player to be called up to the national team? There's a player playing in Austria. Is it Chibuke Unwawu, the boy that left Enyimba for the Austrian league? Austrian league is much better than the Nigerian league, but he didn't get a call up to the national team. So for me, I just think that that is probably the end of those campaigning for him, and that's his end with the national team. Except he performed so well in the Albanian league and actually move to a more competitive European leagues. For me, that is the end of his Super Eagles career. So that is what I think for now.
Okay. I think I would also have to agree with you. I'm not even going to speak on the player's individual ability. I'm not going to do that. But for me, again, this is just the constant dilemma that we have with our home-based players. Somebody shines in the league, they get a call up. That call up gets them a little bit of exposure and a little bit of added reputation. They move abroad. Once they move abroad, we don't hear about them again. The reality of it is, thank God for EaglesTracker. People don't give us our credit a lot. People don't give us our flowers a lot. But somebody like Sodiq Ismail now, like, we're the only people that are going to be talking about him. Like, that's the reality. We are the only ones that are going to be talking about him. If not for EaglesTracker, a player goes to Albania, the person essentially goes into oblivion. I had a player that was reaching out to me today and was just thanking me and just saying thank you. Because, like, without us talking about his games, without us talking about his posts, nobody knows what is going on. So I hope somebody like Sadiq Ismail will be grateful to a platform like EaglesTracker. I hope other players are grateful. But I don't think anybody's going to be fighting for him from Albania. He's not the only player in Albania. There are people that have done well in Albania, people that are doing well in Albania. So it's going to be interesting to see if we can still get another call up to the Super Eagles. But let's not waste too much time on that one. Let's go into 3 official transfers and then we'll get into national team talk.
Sorry, I don't know. Maybe there's one. I don't know. Maybe have you finished talking about Kelechi Iheanacho?
I don't want to go into that because of time.
Okay, can I just say something about?
Okay,
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 okay.
okay.
Don't worry. Okay. We'll take it 2 minutes. So,
Mhm.
Kelechi Iheanacho potentially on the way out of Sevilla. The
Mhm.
manager of Sevilla had confirmed that he has received several offers. Nothing that's has happened yet. He doesn't know if any of those teams are actually serious, but some offers have been made. Yeah, Smith, like the ball is in your court.
So, like, for me, and the reason why I want to talk about this matter is that so I don't want to reference you now. You said something initially, that anytime he traveled, out of the country, maybe probably from, he's not in his club, he's Nigeria. When he comes back, he's always out of shape. And the coach confirmed that there was a slight problem when he returned from Nigeria. That is what the coach said. And the coach also said that we had, you're having offers for a player you bought in September and a player that is the second highest, earner in that club. To tell you that, just to support the point you made earlier, that the hierarchy in Sevilla, they are already giving up on Iheanacho. And the reason why I'm talking about this matter is that where does he go from here? That is the issue. So if you have this opportunity to prove yourself here in this type of league, where do you now go from here? So for me, I think it's a wake-up call for him to know maybe he can still bring a bird from his pocket, and change things around, or you need to just try and sort things out. And I also want to say something too. The national team managers now, they should not impose energy on them. You need to sort out his club career first and be playing on the regular basis and be performing on a regular basis. It's not just training well. It needs to be performing. The more matches is different from training. People have been saying that he's very good at training. No, we want to see him in match conditions too. So I just think that he should sort himself out before they should invite him to the national team. For now, I want to go against what Eguavon said, that it's an asset to Nigeria. For me, I don't think he is an asset now. I think it's more of a liability to the national team than an asset. Thank you.
Okay. I won't go deep into that, but I've said this before. It's not over until it is over.
Yeah.
This might not have worked out. It
Mm-hmm.
doesn't mean that something else is not going to work out for him.
Yeah.
For me, I just hope that he can put his foot down, get his head down,
Mm-hmm.
focus on the task at hand,
Mm-hmm.
stay fit, stay healthy. And if he stays in Sevilla, I don't know if he's going to get more minutes. So I would really encourage him to just move.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I know he likes. I know. See, the thing is that I said I'll not talk about it. Now I'm talking about it. But when you've made money in your career,
Mm-hmm.
some kind of money, it doesn't encourage you again.
Mm-hmm.
If you've been in Man City, you've been in Leicester, in England, you have made like 20, 30,000 a week. You won't want to go to Belgium and collect 5,000 a week.
Mm-hmm.
You won't want to go to all these countries and be collecting even some clubs in Belgium will pay you 2,500 a week.
Mm-hmm.
So I understand that he will want to take a step down, but if he stays in Sevilla and forces them to see out the rest of his contract, it's not a good thing for him. So I
Mm-hmm.
just think if he doesn't want to go to a lower league in Europe,
Mm-hmm.
go to Saudi, man.
Mm-hmm.
Look for a club in UAE. Like
Mm-hmm.
nobody is going to criticize Kelechi Iheanacho's career.
Yeah.
He has had a fantastic career by Nigerian standards.
Yeah.
By Nigerian standards, he has had a fantastic career. 99% of Nigerian footballers would pray to have the career that Kelechi Iheanacho has had.
Mm-hmm.
99% will pray that they can have the kind of career that he has had.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, if things are not working out for you right now, just go and make some money in Saudi, bro. Go and make
Yeah.
some money in the UAE. Players
Yeah.
we no see half of your career, they've already gone to Saudi to make money.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I just look at it that if things are not working out for him, rather than sitting on the bench, allowing people to be criticizing you, allowing people to be talking negative about you, just go to Saudi, go and make
Mm-hmm.
your money, score a few goals, and nobody would care. Like nobody would say anything negative.
Yeah.
So that would just be my own personal advice to Kelechi, and they will
Okay.
probably even pay you more than what you are collecting at Sevilla.
Yeah.
Um, okay, moving forward very quickly. Let's get into official confirmed transfers. So the first one that we heard of, which of course we spoke about on the last episode, it was about to be confirmed and now officially has been confirmed. It was the move um from what's the name of the club? Olympic Lyon to TSG Hoffenheim for Gift Orban. He already played for them in a friendly game against FC Augsburg. You can see he played 45 minutes in that game. Didn't score, but
Hmm.
getting acclimatized and getting familiar with his teammates. Orban has signed a 5-year deal with Hoffenheim, and is hoping to revive his career after a turbulent time at Olympic Lyon. I spoke about this on the last episode, and I'm going to just say it again with all due respect. And nobody, people these days are very fragile and get offended very quickly. So I'm saying this with all due respect. I mean no offense. This is just my own opinion. I think his advisors, his agents, should be very, very intentional and careful. I don't know if they are being intentional and careful right now. I know how agency and commissions work. Hmm? If a player signs a contract now, like this 5-year contract, it's not always the same. But for the most part, the agent's commission is a percentage of the entire amount of his contract. So if he's on $1 million a year or €1 million a year for 5 years for 5 million, a percentage of 5 million, maybe 5, maybe 10%. If it's 10%, that's 500K. If it's 5%, that's 250K, is what the agents get as commission. Even if the player moves in 2 years, you still get your full commission for the full term. I've been involved in certain player transfers, and that's how it worked. So sign a 5-year contract with Lyon. It doesn't work out. Switch over. Sign a 5-year contract with Hoffenheim after 1 year. His agent has made bank, but the player has has been halted in his career. So for me, I personally do not know, honestly, and I know some people might disagree with me on this. I don't know if Gift Orban is ready for the German Bundesliga. I said this before he joined Lyon. People disagreed with me. I watch this guy play a lot. I watch him play every week. Well, now not every week because he does not play. But in games, I was watching him every week. I honestly don't know if he is ready for the German Bundesliga. He is still a very raw player. I'm not even talking about personality. I'm not even talking about behavior, discipline, all those other things. I'm just talking about ability. He's still a very raw player. TSG Hoffenheim is also a struggling club. They are fighting relegation. Chances are going to be hard to come by. If you watched Orban at Ghent, you know that Orban needs multiple chances to score. He's like Nicholas Jackson. If you don't give him 5 chances in a game, he's not going to score. But then again, he used to score incredible goals, so people will see the highlights and they were saying so much. So I really hope that his team were being very strategic and intentional about this and not just chasing a long contract to make more commission or whatever the case may be. Because it will be sad if he doesn't do well at Hoffenheim. If he doesn't do well at Hoffenheim, people might give up. Not completely give up, but he might not be able to, a top 5 league team might not be coming for him again if he doesn't do well at Hoffenheim. So I really, really hope that they thought it through. I hope that whatever the Hoffenheim project was, they really explained it to them, and they felt like, okay, this was a project that was worth it, and made sense for him. I don't want him to go down to the second Bundesliga. They are very, like, there's a good chance they get relegated. I don't want him to go down to the second Bundesliga, even though I think he would do well in the second Bundesliga. But I don't want him to go down. So I wish him all the best. But I think this move is a critical move for his future. This is a boy that they were talking about him joining Arsenal some just 2 seasons ago. Okay. We were talking about Premier League. Remember, you were talking about Spurs just 2 seasons ago. So this is a very, very critical move for him. This move can be a make or break move. But yes, like your thoughts on Gift Orban's move to Hoffenheim?
So for me, I think that it is like, I hate to say it, but it's like the semi-final chance, for him to actually to break through in the European big leagues. Because for a player to move from Lyon and still, the Bundesliga when you didn't do well in Lyon, it's just like, you just trying to get a second chance. But for me, I think with the right attitude, Gift Urban will learn from what happened in Lyon and perform well in Hoffenheim. The good thing is that he's playing in Hoffenheim. There'll be less pressure. Lyon, they are like perennial achievers in what's it called in France. They expect them to win, until PSG, the big money, came to the league and started winning everything. Lyon used to be the big boys of the French league before, and the France they believe that if you are in Lyon, you must deliver. So I think the pressure actually what even got to him. But in Hoffenheim, the I guess the normally finishes the sixth position or so. They normally play the Europa or the Conference League. So the pressure is actually what is less for him. So I think that the lessons from those misses in Lyon can actually really propel him to do better here. For me, if he ends the season by scoring 10 goals, it's a good performance. And I can see that, sometimes, Orban works in a way that something can just happen in a game. He can score 4 goals. You never know. He bites him like that. And sometimes it can happen in a game that he can miss like countless of opportunities and get taken off in half time. Things, it's just to tell you about the rawness to his game. But for me, I think he's going to develop well in Bundesliga and he's going to still do well. For me, I think that he will not get relegated with this team. And, this season might still be like rough patches, but when he goes to the preseason with Hoffenheim and he comes back next season, I think we'll be talking about him more, in the German Bundesliga for the right reasons.
All
Yes.
right, all right, all right. Wish him all the very best. Somebody's saying he should work on his discipline. I don't want to get into conversations about player discipline.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Let me see. Okay, another confirmed transfer that happened this past week. A Super Eagles player. I'm talking about a player that is highly, highly criticized by Nigerian fans. Sadiq Umar. Sadiq Umar has joined Valencia CF in the Spanish La Liga on a 6-month loan with an option to buy from Real Sociedad. As we're speaking, he's on the field for them actually. As they're playing against El Dens. Came off the bench in that Copa del Rey match. But yes, Midlai, what do you think about this move? How do you think this move can potentially be of benefit to Sadiq Umar?
It's also similar to Gift Urban's move. It's another chance for him to thrive in the Spanish La Liga. So don't forget that Spain has been home for Sadiq Umar for the past 3 or 4 years or so. Is it 4 years or so? So it's another chance for him to thrive. For me, when he got the move from Almeria to Sociedad, I was thinking that it might not be the right move for him now. I think there was a move to was he Sevilla. I was just thinking that to say that to go and replace Isaac might not be the right move for him. And unfortunately for him, he got injured, and he didn't recover from that injury. So that was one of the things that's what really affected him. So for me, I think it's not a bad move. But one thing that we have to know here is that I don't think that he has proved himself in the European top 5 leagues before. Don't forget that when he was doing well for America, it was in the second division, and when he was doing well for Partizan Belgrade, that is out of the European top 5 leagues. So this is another test for him to do well. Sevilla, Valencia is not the Valencia of the ones we used to know. They're the Valencias that are struggling with relegation now. So for me, I think that less pressure on him to let him get. I don't know, maybe it's a low move. Is it a low move?
It's a loan move with an option to buy.
By so maybe if you get a couple of goals, get his confidence back with Valencia, even if they get relegated, I think he can still do well, for Sociedad. But he needs to get game time and he needs to perform well for Valencia in the league. Yeah.
I would say it's definitely another opportunity for him. The difference I would say between him and Orban is that he suffered from an injury.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunate incident that happened to him after having a fantastic season, suffered from the injury, and is now on his, way back. Unfortunately, his minutes have been limited versus, somebody who has been fit and things just didn't go well for him. So I think his only case is a bit different, but I'm really hoping that he can revive his career at Valencia. Of course, Valencia is struggling in the league, so they need goals, and that's why they brought him. He
Mm-hmm.
also is in a relegation battle. He's also playing for a team that might not necessarily have too many chances. So I hope that things go well, and I'm wishing him all the best. Again, I'll keep saying this. You guys, I know that many of you guys are not regulars on our show, but we have a running order. We will talk about the Super Eagles coach. It is coming very, very
I
shortly.
can see you are smiling. Yeah.
I know that that's what everybody wants to hear about, but we have to run through the show. We have to talk about everything. We cannot just talk about it alone. And we're about to get there. So this is my final call for anybody that is tuned in on Instagram. Please switch over to YouTube now, or you are going to miss the entire conversation about Eric Chelle as the new Super Eagles head coach. If you are watching on YouTube, please like, share so that more people can tune in, and subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. If you are watching on Instagram, switch over to YouTube now, because we are about to switch topics. And if you don't go to YouTube, you are going to miss the entire conversation, because the stream is ending on Instagram in 2 minutes. Okay. Um, very, very quickly, let me take one more transfer. This transfer is a transfer of a Super Eagles, so that Super Falcons player, a player that I personally like a lot, a player that I personally have been supporting for a few years now, since she came into the forefront, and she has now signed her first professional deal, joining Washington Spirit in the USA NWSL. I'm talking about Deborah Abiodun. She has joined Washington Spirit on a deal until 2027, and of course, it includes an option for a further year. This comes after 2 years of football with Pittsburgh Panthers. So she doesn't have a degree yet. She did not finish school, but at least she was able to get that education, she was able to get that exposure, and no doubt, without an iota of doubt, playing in the US college system and doing well is what has helped her get a move to Washington Spirit. Washington Spirit are coached by Hiraldes, the former Barcelona women's coach, the coach that Super Zio Shwala scored all those million goals under him. So she has a good coach, she has a good team, lots of young players in the team. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what she can do. So Smilai, what are your thoughts on this move, Deborah Abiodun to Washington Spirits?
I
We
was
can't hear you.
I was also expecting this move too, but when she actually moved to this Washington Spirit, I was like, oh, that's actually very nice. I want her to develop very well too, in the what's it called, in the league, in the WSL, so that in NWSL, so that it can actually improve more. Fantastic player, similar to it's a player that I really watched from right from the under 20 days, and I was really pleased the way she actually was developed, especially under Randy Wardrum. What also makes this thing very interesting for me is that she's going to be playing alongside Andy Sullivan. I know maybe you know Sullivan, Andy Sullivan from
Yeah.
Washington Spirit, and I think she can learn from her, develop more as a player, where from her before she actually would leave that place. Maybe probably would make the big moves across the Atlantic Ocean, to Europe. So for me, very, very big move for her. And I'm happy that at the end of the day, she's signing a big for your contract, and that's actually what massive for her. And even good for Nigeria too.
Mm. No,
Yeah.
and I'm also wondering how much of an influence did Randy Wardrum's departure from the Super Falcons play in her decision to leave college? I don't know, because Randy Wardrum was the one that encouraged her to go through the college path.
Mm-hmm.
Was playing under him at Pittsburgh
Mm-hmm.
and also playing under him for the Super Falcons. But Randy Wardrum is no longer involved in the Super Falcons.
Yeah.
I wonder if maybe she was like, maybe the next coach now is not going to be looking at me in college like that and be calling
Yeah.
me or
Yeah.
something, and
Yeah.
she's like, I need to be playing professionally. I
Yeah.
don't know if that influenced her at all. It will be
Maybe
interesting.
that actually what influenced that. But Ostematugu called her against Cape Verde,
Yeah.
during the AFCON qualifiers, and she was the man of the match, in that game that they won by 6 goals to 1 or so in Abuja. So for me, I think that Osman is going with it. Okay, we're gonna get there actually, but that's one of the worst kept secrets, but I know it's going to be part of the team. But I think that that one could also influence her decision. Maybe more money too, I don't know. Maybe
Mm.
that one could also be part of
I
it.
mean, money is definitely a factor. In college, you're not getting paid.
Okay.
Yeah, you're not getting paid.
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah.
So money can also be a factor. Yes.
Okay. And I don't know if she had any like NIL deals in college as well. So yeah, she probably wasn't making good money in college. I mean, she made her 60K from playing in the World Cup.
Mm-hmm.
60K for a college student.
Mm.
60K goes a long way for a college student.
Yeah.
But you know, all the
Mm-hmm.
same, I don't know if that was an influence, but it will be interesting to know.